Okay, hi, I'm Muhammad Shahrul Muhammad and I'm the choreographer as well as the concept developer for Secret Connection.
Hi, my name is Nuridana binti Shukur and I'm an artist of Secret Connection.
Hi, my name is Chung Yuelin Geraldine, and Sharu calls me Garrett, but my other friends call me Jerry, and I am an artist of Secret Connection, and I'm also the social media manager.
So Secret Connection is actually a work that was created back in school, LaSalle College of the Arts, under the mentorship of Susan Yong. And this work was primarily about having faith and self-connection and how things that are intangible can be tangible and expressed through the body.
So I think that Secret Connection has brought me on a journey that is unlike any other work that I've experienced before.
How we started all this was when Sharu contacted me. We then proceed on to our online rehearsals, which was led by Sharu.
So for one, because we started this work during a pandemic-stricken time, we had to adapt to a lot of changes that happened along the way. Like how we had to transition into a digital or blended format.
We started off with virtual exercises whereby Aru was just trying to get our bodies back on track because some of us haven't been dancing.
So this is my second time being in one of Sharu's works, and it is really very different compared to other choreographers that I've worked with because he adopts a collaborative rather than a didactic approach.
How is the work different from the 2018 process was because back then when I was in school, the work was quite a didactic approach. So I create movements and the dancers just do what was told. But when I was in level 3 degree, when I was doing my dissertation, I actually read up about Joe Butterworth theory. Not theory, it's actually a framework that talks about the didactic and democratic framework. So I think it was in 2002 that she actually created this whole framework, and I took that and I created this whole collaborative experience for the dancers as well as myself.
As our piece develops, whatever we do doesn't seem like a mistake. So I really like that process where we just give in ideas and then it becomes a whole new thing.
In this process specifically, the collaborative approach is that I have to heighten my sense of listening and observation skills, and I think I allow nature to take its course. For an example, we have artists who have other commitments and they have to take their lead from this project, and I think that's a calling of the nature to say that this work needs to move in a different direction. And also, in any sense or during the process, if there are things that came about, like for example, different floor patterns that came about or different way of moving that conjure from the dances itself, I took that into consideration whether to actually apply that in the end product. So the decision making for this Secret Connection is very different from the 2018 because the 2018 is specifically from me and it's really a lot of my voice. But for this one, it's really asking and having a lot of conversation. And I realized that a didactic process is something that you can and finish it at a very fast pace because everything is from you. But collaborative process is actually longer than normal. Like a lot of conversation have to take place, a lot of bouncing back ideas back and forth from the dancers to the choreographers and the choreographers to the dancers. And not just that, because we have lighting designer, composer, filmmaker. So this collaboration is not just, I just want the frame to be like that, I want the light to be like that, but I allow them to be part of the work, part of the process. So this work is not just me. I have the direction, I have the guidance, I have the control over it, but it's up to me to extract or allow more voices to be heard. But at the same time, my voices is always in existence. And the beauty of this Secret Connection is something that I've always wanted to do, is to develop Asian contemporary form in Singapore especially from the roots of Malay tradition. So bringing back the semiotic props or cultural props like the tepat sirih, the kain batik, and having a new, fresh, innovative ideas on how you actually cross these ideas and creating new meaning to it.
Throughout the process, our voices are really heard, and he wants our input in the work. And he also gives us the autonomy to create our own moves that fit our own bodies and our own vocabulary.
I think it really helps me work on the creative side of me. I personally don't really like choreographing or like thinking about like new ideas. So when Shahrul gave us like homework to do, like maybe okay, come up with like 4 gestures, come up with 4 aids of movement phrases, it makes me want to like think, you know, out of the box, like what else can I do? You know, something that is different, something that's not very common.
We each have our own characters that are part of the work. So Shahrul told us to just think of how, think of movements that kind of showcase that character and come up with our own movement phrase. And from there, we just developed it into something bigger and more complex. And also, for instance, because we use the Malay dance form a lot, and even though that's something that I'm not trained in, but he does give me the space to use what I have experience in and kind of combine that with the Malay form and create something that is unique to my own vocab.
Let's say we do a like 4 aids of movement phrase, and then after that we feel like, oh, maybe I should just lie down, and then that lying down may be the next step. It's like, oh, it's okay, like it's coincidental, you know, and then it doesn't seem like to be affecting the entire look, the entire idea of what Shahrul is going for. So it's like coincidental that things actually forms up the way we didn't expect it to be, but it's good.
So I think that really makes me feel like I have a really big stake in the work, not just in the dance part, but also in the conceptualization and creation of the work. And I think that it's also trained me to come to rehearsals with an open mind, because you never really know what direction the work is going to take with the 3 of us. So it's always a very unique experience, and how 3 of us, our brains come together and just create something that I might not have expected when I came into rehearsal.
For me personally, through this entire process, I've learned different and new ways my body can move, and I hope to bring this further in my artistic journey and processes.
So I think that this piece of work is very meaningful to us because it was incubated in a period where all of us were isolated at home, and then now as we slowly progress back into normalcy, I think that we tried to really echo that kind of disarray that the world was in, and bring that into the work as well, to reflect how we all crave that connection with each other, as well as with a higher being, whatever that we may believe in. So I do hope that this work can continue to grow and progress, and maybe we can even bring it to other cultures and other countries who might not be so familiar with the kind of unique culture that we have here in Singapore.
So, for this iteration or this edition of Sacred Connection, it's beautiful because we are working with artists from the industry as well as international artists. And yeah, I'd like to share with you that we are working with dancers. There's Geraldine as well as Liana Syukur. And we actually worked with a beautiful composer from Indonesia. She's a vocalist, Penny Chandrarini. Alberta Willio, fabulous lighting designer. And we have our filmmakers from Raw Collective, Sarah Go and Harold Cole. We also collaborated in the process with Farhana Diana with her beautiful poem, Hazim, that assists with the props as well as the sets design. And we have Rizman Kasim, right, that worked with beautiful costumes specific to every individual narrative and character.
We've been developing on this piece for almost a year with hard work, tears and sweat. We can't wait for you to watch us.
Yeah, we've really put in a lot of our heart and soul into this work, and now we are ready to bring it to all of you. So we hope that you all really love it and support us.
I am very thankful for LaSalle College of the Arts for providing the opportunity for Sacred Connection Birth to happen. And without the support of Prisma Dance Company Catalyst programs, and as well as National Arts Council digital presentation grant, as well as Artis Seni Budaya for their space at times. I think this work will not have the opportunity to develop further. And I hope that we can get continuous support so that this work itself does not just stay in Singapore and it can fly off and go beyond the island, the small little island, and develop the Asian contemporary arts in Singapore.